Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, come on in. Oh, it's sticking out. You good girl, Millie? Mummy's going live. Yeah, you good girl. I've been looking for my glasses for 10 minutes and they're there, aren't they? And they need a good clean. So, good evening, everyone. Lovely to have your company. I'll wait for a few of you to join and then we'll get our guests in for another Facebook Live. I've got my iPad here. Oh, let me get my gig. Oh, they're dirty. Mind you, I've got another 12 pairs to choose from. Right, who is watching? Cheryl Ann, hello. Good evening to you. Nice to see you. Where are you watching from, Cheryl Ann? Nice to see you. Always nice if people put a photo. I know some people don't know how to put photos on their Facebook page. It's always nice to have a photo though, just so I know who you are and I can go and, make sure that you are a proper human being, which is absolutely brilliant because I'm sure you all are. Hi, Kate. How are you? Hi, Katie. Hi, Karen. Hi, Jill. Nice to have your company this evening. Lovely to see you all as well. It's been quite a day today. I was up at 5 o'clock today. It's been quite a hectic day today. Good evening, Tracy. So I was up at 5 o'clock, drove up north, went to Chesterfield to highlight crafts. Those shows you can see on my feed if you wish. So I was there this morning, had 2 shows with Amanda and a show with Adam, who was doing a back to basics on scan and cut, so that was good. And then after that, I drove over to Bakewell. But I followed the sat nav, so the sat nav took me down all of these country routes, which was nice. It was lovely, and it was like in the middle of nowhere, and going through the set of Emmerdale, up a hill, down a dale, up a hill, down a dale, along a flat, and then it took me down this really, really steep hill, and we had to stop on a steep hill like that, and I hate that. So I was just sitting there for ages thinking, oh, please traffic move. And there'd been an accident, unfortunately. 2 people had had a bump on a hairpin bend. So I had to really go wide around this hairpin bend. I thought I was going to go over the side. Anyway, I didn't go over the side at all. And ended up in Bakewell. So I met some friends in Bakewell, which was nice. Had a really nice sandwich, had a look around. And then I got back in the car and drove back. But it took ages to get home. Took me through Derby, if you know that way, through the Peak District. It looked beautiful though, but it just took ages to get home. So I've not been home long. And here I am. I've just had some dinner. Jane cooked dinner, and Millie is in a basket. You all right, Millie? She's not been feeling very well of late. She's all right. She's okay. You all right, Millie? Yeah, she's kind of a bit out of sorts sometimes, don't they? Bless her. She's in a little basket. Anyway, how is everybody? Hello, Sandra. Hello, Yvonne. Good evening from New Barnet in Hearts. Oh, good evening from Leicestershire, right here. Yeah, so that's me in a nutshell, what I've been doing today. So that was good, mostly driving. But it's lovely to have your company here for another Facebook Live. And tonight we've got Jamie Rogers and we've got Samantha King as well, or Kingdom as well. So Samantha's coming on a little later, or Sam as we like to call her. So if I just skip along, Jamie, if you're watching, please tap on the icon at the bottom of the screen, the 2 people icon, and then I'll be able to let you on and join in. I did do a poll. Well, not a poll, a questionnaire really, about who else you would like to see on the Facebook Lives. And you mentioned Charlie. Well, Charlie's coming next week. You mentioned Abs. Abs is coming next week as well. So keep your suggestions coming in, who you'd like to see on the Facebook Lives. We can revisit people as well. It's just keeping everybody connected so we all know what's going on in this wonderful world of craft. So, Jamie, if you want, I've turned all my notifications off for messages, by the way. So if you're trying to get in touch with me, the best way to do it would be through Facebook Messenger on my personal page, because I have that open on my iPad. But down the bottom of the screen, Jamie, if you see the 2 icons with the 2 people, it's around about there on my phone, just there. Tap on that and that will bring up a request for you to join. I can request that, and then off we go. There you go. So I don't have any messages at the moment. So yeah, are you there, Jamie? Is he there yet? It's going to be great to catch up with Jamie because I've not seen him for ages actually, so it'd be really nice to see what's going on. What's everyone had for their tea? It's always a good question, isn't it? What's everyone had for the tea? I had salmon, potatoes and vegetables. So I've had that, and I might have a glass of wine tonight. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Dawn, hello, Dawn. How are you? Hope you're well. There he is. There's our Jamie. Let's approve. Let's get him in. Let's send that invitation. Appear on your screen. I think he appears down there. He might appear up there, but on my screen, he appears down there. So just adding in, and there he is. Hello, Jamie.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Oh, look, we're earpod friends.
Are we? We're doing well though, aren't we? Please forgive me. I think I'm late. I just set up on an iPad and then I lost my iPad. It wouldn't work. So I'm trying to. Oh, there we go. I'm on a phone now instead.
Yeah, yeah. The phone's always the best way to do it, Jamie. I do it on my phone, so it just works perfectly. Sometimes on the iPad you can't really see the icon, so this is absolutely perfect. How are you anyway, my lovely?
All right, but terrible with technology. I always said this growing up. I don't know how anyone's going to keep up with technology, fashion, music. Here I am. I'm 40 next year, and I have no idea on any of it. I'm lost with all of it.
Oh, you're doing very well. Are you in your studio at the moment? Is that a superimposed background, or is that for real?
No, it was real. This is where we do our Thursday night live.
No.
So I thought, nice. It's the only bit of the house that's decorated and nice-ish. We moved like 2 years ago and took over a property that we've got to do up.
Yeah.
So the whole house was in chaos. But the first important bit was to get the studio up and running so that the world could carry on.
But you've done it very well. You've done it very well. Claire Hailstone, she says, hello, Jamie. Stephanie Barnett is watching. She says hello. Kerry says hello. Kim says hello. Karen says hello. Jamie, where shall we start with your crafting journey? How about when you first started to get into crafting personally yourself?
No, that's the question you get asked a bit, isn't it? And to be honest with you, it's kind of a funny answer because I don't think I ever wasn't crafting in some way, shape or form.
Yeah.
And there's a few stories I like to tell you from after this one. And probably one of the most random ones, because I'm all up for a bit of embarrassment, was when I was about 12. And I'd always done different crafting missions, mostly for presents and giving. But when I was about 12, we were quite a hard up family, being honest, but not that that really mattered, but we were. But I still wanted to give people Christmas presents and Christmas gifts. And we went to, I think it was a Wilkinson, and we bought these like garden ornaments of chickens and cockerels, and they were hideous. They were really genuinely hideous. They were covered in all these sort of pitted, and they were green to start with. They weren't coloured, they weren't nice or nothing. And they were kind of pitted and indented. And for some reason, in my sort of 12-year-old mind, I decided that what I was going to do was buy everybody in my family a chicken or a cockerel. But before I would hand it over on Christmas Day, I'd paint them blue. I don't know why.
Blue?
But yeah,
all blue? All totally blue?
You know, they had like an indentation to them in the way they were made. They were light blue and heavily pushed into the gaps and then gone over in dark blue, so that you ended up with a two-tone effect. It was classy, it was good. It was just random that my whole family was sort of presented these chickens and opened them one by one, kind of like, why have you bought me a blue chicken? And then we've actually got it on video. My nan opened hers and the head fell off. Petuous chicken, but yet still graciously accepted, kind of bizarrely.
That is amazing. Blue chickens. Yeah, that's amazing. Well,
there's still a couple lurking in the family, and like my brother-in-law, that sort of made way for this chicken game that every year we got something chicken related in that moment on. So
I think maybe, Jamie, you should bring some of your blue chickens back. You never know; they could be a huge hit.
I need to dig them out and share a photo with them. But no, so I suppose in honesty, there's also been some type of crafting going on. That led sort of into furniture. I like to call it furniture restoration, but I'm not going to call it furniture destroying, more than restoration. What we often find is sort of a catalog end table and painting some random colour. And that kind of then went through to about 18 when I went into photograph. paper craft sort of as well, stuck, thank goodness, for blue chickens and strange tables.
I'm the same though. I go onto Marketplace on Facebook and I'll find things and I think, oh, I'll paint that up. And then you paint it and you go, oh, I'm not actually keen on that. And then you just paint it another colour. But I do that mainly in the summer and I do that outside.
I think that was one of the bits I've always loved with most types of craft. You know, there's not many things that we can do so wrong that you have to part way with it. You can usually save it, restore it, change it in some way, shape, or form. And
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah, you certainly can. So that was how you got into it, painting blue chickens, which I love. It's always a good way to get into crafting. But when did it sort of move over into you doing it for a living, I guess?
well, so when I was literally 18, literally about 18, at that time, my mum had started, I've always come from a crafty family. You know, we've always done different bits in different ways, and there's always been that craft level run behind us. It's like my mum, for instance, she's always been in doll houses, and we've got like 16 or maybe even more than that doll houses that are sort of part-done projects, and they've always been in our life from a youngster. That's when she sort of got into that. So from very young on, it was a case of every bottle top could become a fruit bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got time to look at everything in different eyes from that moment. So I suppose in that sense, she'd always been crafty. But when I was about 18, she discovered paper craft and started doing scrapbooking. And my mum's always been an incredible businesswoman,
Yeah.
always in whatever sense she's worked in. She's always started at the bottom and climbed to the top. You know, we're not an educated family, but we're a hard-working family. And if you
Like it.
start, you can get where you want to get if you work hard enough. And I think that's been a sort of a motto. And she says, I can remember the conversation. She sat there and said, I've decided I want to give up my very high-powered job and open a craft shop. Because
Wow.
locally, and I'm going into the places around where we live and saying terms like acid free, and they're looking at me like I'm insane. So I want to do this myself. I can see that scrapbooking is going to be a big thing, and I really enjoy it, and I want to do it. And I've always been crafty in one format or another, but she sort of come up with this idea for the shop, and I said, well, I'll do it with you. At the time, I was working in a clothes store, and I said, well, I don't want to do that. It'd be a long
Yeah.
finish. And as I literally when I turned about 18. And we've still got the shops today in sort of slightly more modernised terms to what they were back then. But we've still got we still work at the shop, and then we've kind of built on and done all of these bits on the side of it. But the shop opened quite a few corridors into teaching lessons.
It's amazing. I didn't know your mum had a shop. I didn't know it was kind of in the family. That's absolutely fantastic. Do you go and work in the shop, Jamie?
To be honest, now life is chaotically busy. So if we have a big sale or you know things that have really sort of pushed everybody to the maxes, then I'll pop in and play around and pack a few orders. But to be honest, I'm usually just in the way. So it's kind of like the out the way. I think if I create more work than I probably under.
When you do go back in the shop, you kind of like, I know you're a very modest person, but you're like a bit of a superstar when you go back in and people come in the shop and they like take a double take.
Um, that's always a bit weird. You know, me and my partner, we stood outside. And probably there's not many stories where somebody's approached me out in the wild. You know what I mean? They've got time Verdi. But we stood at a cafe. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's a really famous cafe in Halifax. And we stood there looking on the menu because I was a bit of a fire and a bit of a fussy eater. And we were desperately trying to see if I could eat in this very posh restaurant. Betty's Tea, I think it is. I'm getting past now, but I think it was Betty's Tea Room,
Yeah.
and these two women come up behind us and they were like, are you changing off this feather? And that was really uncomfortable, but lovely.
Oh,
You probably have
yeah.
lovely spotted. But you're suddenly like, oh, am I prepared for this? What do I look like? How good am I looking today?
And does your mum sell your products in her shop?
Yeah, so the shop's got all of our products and my products as well. Yeah, so it's kind of, I don't know, they kind of work side by side. So we're
Yeah.
two companies, but we work together as best we can. to make sure that, you know, all the cogs keep turning. Retailing today as well is a tough game, isn't it? And I
Yeah.
suppose part of the bit that spurred me on, in a sense, that on my own is to actually have products that we can source, we can control. We know where they're coming from, we know what they're being sold for. We, you know, that level of control you get if it's your product that you don't have if you're trying to compete with the people that manufactured it.
So,
because we've kind of,
go on.
in retail, we've kind of changed the game, haven't we, in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
It used to be you had wholesalers, you had stockists, you had end consumers, and as time goes on, that gap's getting thinner and thinner and thinner.
Yeah.
And as a retailer, we've got to try and help our retailers to stay afloat. So I think we need them.
So when you go into the shop, I'm just curious now. So you're going to the shop and you've got your products there. Is it like you'll go up and there'll be like some of your products there and then some other products, and you kind of just put yours to the front, just rearrange that can we just turn the display just a little bit to the door? Just that's it, Jamie Rogers.
I actually like bricks and mortar shopping. It's now a small department. We used to, up until COVID, we had full on shops.
Yeah.
Down to one. At one point we had two, but we took it down to one. And then COVID come along and kind of changed the platform. And as a family, we own and run quite a few different things. Me and my partner, between us, we've got 4 sweet shops, a restaurant, a holiday home, and a computer store, as well as the craft shop.
A sweet shop?
Yeah, we've got 4. I question the number. It's 4 now, isn't it? We've got 4 sweet shops that do lots of different fun things. Freeze-dried sweets are the latest trend.
Yeah.
So we stock freeze-dried sweets, American sweets, Indian sweets, Chinese, Japanese, then pick and mix traditional stuff as well.
So do you sell like sweets in like, you know, you used to go into the old sweet shops, you'd buy them by the quarter or by the half a pound and things like that, or a pound if you really wanted them?
We do a little bit of that, not as much. More than modern sweets have taken over. The TikTok generation,
yeah.
You know, have you ever heard of freeze-dried sweets, James? Do you know what they are?
What are they?
Freeze-dried sweets.
Freeze-dried sweets.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was lost. So, you know,
freeze-dried sweets.
You take little, you take anything like Skittles and bits like that, and you put them into this certain machine that looks a bit like a tumble dryer, but it isn't. It's got a right oven, and it takes out all the moisture. And it's like, for instance, a Skittle goes to about double its size and splits open, and they taste incredible because if you take out the moisture, it increases the flavour. I don't know how it works. It's magic. And if Cadbury's cream egg, oh my goodness, that's like a next level freeze-dried thing. It doesn't look anything like a cream egg. They sort of break open and go a bit fuzzy.
I'd like to try some of those. Now, Kim, who's on the feed, she said she was lucky enough to win a hamper from your shop.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I can't believe you are crafters Willy Wonka.
A little bit. Oh, yeah, slightly. Yeah. So I'm quite lucky to Pete, my partner. He does an awful lot of sweets. That's more his role. He's got a business partner that helps with that. So it's kind of within our sort of family that we play around with all of these different things. But it makes life fun because you go from a day in our work can be from packing hampers. We were looking at freeze-dried hampers this morning, right the way through to talking to China about the next release for Jamie Rogers.
That's brilliant.
Show plan. There's always a list, and every day it's slightly longer.
Yeah.
What we've done, but it's a good list, and we enjoy it.
Do you think one influences the other? So, you know, you talk about these freeze-dried sweets and all the different trends that are coming in. Do you think sometimes that can influence your collections and things like that?
I suppose it has as yet, but it might do in time. And that isn't a cryptic hint at anything. Just it could well end up going round in a big circle. You never know. But yeah, it probably should more than it has already.
That's so interesting. Interesting. Never knew that, you see. Lots of people are loving the backstory, Jamie, and listening to, you know, how you've come to be who you are today. And let's talk about that as well, because you used to work for Creative Expressions, as did Lisa Horton, Phil Martin, Catherine Sturrock, and they've all now become names in their own right. And that was a leap of faith that you took in yourself. How hard was that to do?
It's gonna sound like one of them cliches things people say, isn't it? Because it's gonna, but genuinely it is something that took a lot of stupidity. I wouldn't say courage, because it probably wasn't courage, it was just stupidity. I don't lie about this, like, you know, I won't lie about this. I left not knowing what I was going to do. Jamie Rogers Craft wasn't planned. I decided I needed a change. I think sometimes we're in places, and that's a lovely place. I've got genuinely so much respect for what creative expression gave me,
Yes.
taught me, to me. I would never have done the telly. That was never my plan. I'm not somebody who believes I'm confident enough to do it or good enough to do it, or would have even, I could have seen a million adverts asking me to do that job, and there was no way I personally would have applied to one of them.
Yeah.
It was that they come to me and said, we want you, and Sue Wilson's watched you and said that she wants you, will you do it? And I was like, well, if they believe in me, then I've got to believe in them. So I did it. But that weren't me being like, yeah, I can do this job, and I still wouldn't stay. It's not in me to believe that I'm that wonderful to do anything, but let alone go and jump around and tell you and try and show the world. So no, that was a bit weird, but I'm very grateful to them for what they gave me in that state, and the doors they opened. So leaving was a really tough decision, and if I'm being honest, one that I toyed with for probably about 18 months. It wasn't, it was never something that come out overnight, and I just said, that's it, I'm going to go. It was a whole series of things that kind of led up to me saying, you know what, I need to change, I need to do something different, I need to see what pastures new are available. So I left in December. I left literally virtually a year ago. About 8 days till I left.
Wow.
Yeah, and I left not knowing where I was going to go, what I was going to do, just thinking, you know what, life's short and you've got to be happy. And every now and again, I believe you've got to throw everything up in the air and see what lands and see what.
Yeah. I mean, if all else fails, you can just eat sweets for the rest of your life.
I do a lot of that.
Do you? Do you eat a lot of the sweets?
At the moment, I'm working my throat. I'm a vegetarian, so
yeah,
just a veggie, and that's a whole other kind of worms to open. I was listening to I forgot the name. Hang on, somebody's talking about baked beans yesterday.
Sarah Payne, Afraid of Baked Beans.
But yeah, Sarah Payne's talking about baked beans. So it's funny about food, isn't it? We've all got our own kind of ways and thoughts. But at the moment, I'm working my way for a vegan mix of pickle. Because I'm trying to find vegetarian pickle is not an easy mission.
No.
Sample bag comes through, and it's huge.
Yeah.
And I'm slowly working my way through that. That's my guilty pleasure.
Leonie would like some of those. She's a vegan, so she'd always be grateful if you need, I guess, someone else to sample the sweets for. I'm sure she would.
To get them out of my way, so I stop eating them, because it's not good for the waistline, is it? I just keep living.
Interesting though. So you took the leap of faith, and then of course your first collection came out. So what was the build up like to your first collection? What was your thought process, and how did you feel?
The 6 months between leaving and deciding that, hang on a minute, this is silly. What I need to do is put on my big boy pants and get on with this and become my own brand. And that wasn't a decision that I come across lightly. And it was never intended, and we're not here for timing, you know, if there's anyone watching who don't know who we are, I don't know you, you know, we're we're very offish, you know, very big
But
pond.
but very popular and very well loved, Jamie.
Thank you, that's very kind, but we've got a long way to go. We've got a huge path laid out ahead of us and missions to try and tick and get to. So there's a high chance we might not know who we are. But it was kind of, I thought what we would do is I would just, because I come from YouTube, that was where I was found. I've done YouTube videos, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to put them on to do the TV. There's only so many hours in a day, which is so annoying. I wish somebody could come up with some way I can stop sleeping, just so I can get all of the bits done I want to do. So YouTube kind of gone on a bit of a back burner while I was doing creative expression. And I think to everybody, what we'll do is I'll just design a few bits here and there, and we'll do a small few, ranges every now and then. We'll do a video with them. And maybe if I can do one of them every 6 to 8 weeks, maybe, that'll keep the pennies ticking in and that's it. And very quickly, we sort of found that if we were going to do X, we needed to do Y, and if we were going to do Y, we needed to do Z. And this kind of grew very quickly from being a scrappy little 5 stamps every 6 weeks to, well, let's have full-on collections and let's try and supply the world and let's do TV shows because there's no plan in TV at all. So, and then it got to June and we decided that we would do the TV. I suppose it was a bit before that, but June was when we did our first show, and that was scary and alarming and petrifying. And I only know other words you could associate it on their mind because I suddenly, where I was used to designing and writing, having a team behind me who would say, well, this is good and that's bad, and maybe we should do this bigger or smaller. Suddenly it's just you.
Yeah.
But all of that, I've got my family and friends and DT, and we're all helping with opinions, but it was very much on my head and on my shoulders to see my ideas were worth.
I bet that felt good though. In another way, it wasn't something that was safe that you were coming to demonstrate that, if it didn't work out, it was, it's all right. It's a larger firm. Somebody can then bring it again to air. It must have felt invigorating. Like jumping into ice cold water. It's scary. You don't want to do it, and sometimes you get pushed. But when you come out again, it's like, oh, I'm so glad I did that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're only 6 months old as a company. As we go into December, it's about 6 months-ish. So we're relatively new to the world. And obviously, like everybody, we've had these sort of huge ups and downs with the creative art. And there's whole stories about that, but you've probably done before. But they've brought with them quite a few bumps in the road. And some days you look at it and think, why did I do this? I should have just gone to Tesco's. Tesco's would be nice and easy and no stress. But actually, 99% of the time, I wouldn't change a second of it because it's just been amazing and so much fun. And there's nothing beats it being out of your mind, your crazy idea, and into reality.
Yeah.
And then, I'm sure others have said the same. It's the bit when you see, for me, when you see other people work with what you've made.
Yes.
When you go, yeah, that was right. That's a good product, and they like it, and they're getting good results from it. So I did the right thing.
Yeah. And what about if you went to a craft fair, or if you were shopping in a little town, like I was in Bakewell today, and no, it wasn't Bakewell. Well, where was that? Yeah, it was Bakewell. Yeah, Bakewell Tart. Went to Bakewell. Anyway, and you're going past like a craft shop, and you saw one of your designs because your angel policy allows people to stamp out and sell. Has that ever happened? And how would you feel if it did?
I don't think that's happened. So my product's in other stores, and that's really weird. I'm trying to think if I actually have to say I've seen photos of people's car stores actually thinking about it with people, but I haven't been there. But similar thing. But yes, that in that sense is lovely. That's really cool, and to see that, because it is all about, you mentioned but it is all about always allowing the crafter to either do something for charity or fund their own world, their own craft habits and crazy. So as well, that's lovely if they can make it and sell it and bring them.
Sharon says your products are amazing. She said your products are amazing. How many collections have you had out now, Jamie?
That's a very good question. Very good question. I'm going to say about 6.
6.
About 6. We've done
wow. That is fantastic going for a year of trading to have 6 collections. I think that is absolutely superb. 6 months.
Yeah, we from December I handed in a creative expression. we launched our first product in June, and we've had literally a collection every month. Even the month that we lost Creative Craft, it's like 3
Yeah.
hours. So I think we're up to about 240 products currently across all of the ranges that we've done so far.
You know where all your creativity comes from and all your gusto for getting there and creating. It's all the sweets you're eating.
Yeah, sugar. But no, it's amazing. And I always say this, and everyone in this room, but we've got boards on the other wall. I can't show you, so you could give a lot away. But we've got boards on the other wall showing all of the releases we've got planned for next year. Oh, I say next year, probably about the first 6 months now.
Exciting.
Yeah, to plan that and see that and build that and then respond to what people like.
Yeah.
We've got quite a quick turnaround
Yeah.
of what we're doing. So if we see that something's really done well, then we'll jump on and do a bit more or other sizes. So I suppose in a sense, with big companies, you have a little red tape and a little bit of, schedules for releases and bits where last week and change on a dime and that kind of thing.
That's fabulous.
I'm interested. So yeah, it's been great.
When is your next collection out?
Well, tomorrow night we do a sneak peek. So Thursday night matter, 7 p.m. tomorrow night, we will show you all of the brand new collection. I do happen to have it just like a little flash, but there is a lot going to the next collection. I won't show you too much because it's gonna, take over. But there's flowers and sentiments and nesting dies and stencils, and there's about 15 items, I think, roughly, that come out. And we'll show you those tomorrow night, and we'll show you samples, we'll do a couple of demos.
Is that on your Facebook?
Yeah, so Jamie Rogers Craft.
Yeah.
So you're looking at Jamie Rogers Craft, 7 p.m. tomorrow, and that's where we're doing our Thursday night now. We'll go through that, we'll answer any questions, we'll share reviews and inspiration.
Excellent.
And then it actually comes out next Tuesday on Highlight Crafts. That'll be your exclusive place to purchase it on Tuesday.
Can you change it to Monday? Because I'm there on Monday.
Typical. They're about to cross in. That's not fair, is it?
Steph and the team, if you're watching, change me to Tuesday or put our lovely Jamie on Monday. I'm missing you by a day. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so that is the night. But yeah, so we're there Tuesday. We've got 3 hours. We're going to do 2 hours of the brand new collection. And we'll be bringing back this Kyle collection for another hour. Now, I know that you've been doing giveaways.
We have, yes.
And I haven't yet got to talk to you about this. But do you fancy a giveaway?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I got in trouble with Facebook recently for my they told me I could not give things away and ask for likes in return, but we can give away things in the live. There's nothing wrong with that because we're not asking anybody for anything. We're giving away. It's just Facebook's rules. But yes, let's do a giveaway. And what I'll do is I will just choose somebody at random who puts, I'll just choose somebody at random to win. I think that's the best way to do it. What have you got?
We're going to give you the complete tile collection.
Oh,
this is our
no.
Come out. We'll be bringing this back on Tuesday to Highlight Crafts, but it's got stamps, dies, and stencils. I'll try and get a recommended retail price out. Somebody might have a bit more mathematical mind than theirs. I think it's over £100 recommended retail price, to be honest. But it gives you stencils, stamps, and dies, the whole collection.
Are you sure? That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Well, I would choose somebody at random. I'll let this fit because I leave this on Facebook for people to watch, so people can watch this again. You might be watching at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be asleep, or I might not be. I didn't sleep very well last night. I had to get my magnesium spray and spray it all over my legs to make me go sleep.
Oh, does that help? Does that not help?
It does with me because I get like restless leg syndrome, so I get like kicky legs. So if I get tired and I can't sleep, then my legs start to kick like this and I start to fidget. So I'm not a doctor. I'm not medically trained in any way whatsoever, but it kind of helps me. Yeah.
If it works, it works.
That's right. Maybe a glass of wine might help tonight. Well, that's incredibly kind of you, Jamie. And can I say a huge thank you for coming on? It's been an absolute pleasure. Will you come on again sometime?
Absolutely. Anytime. Honestly, it's a joy to be with you. It's a joy to see you. It's a joy to have an hour.
Excellent. Jamie, have a wonderful Facebook Live tomorrow at 7 p.m. on your Jamie, which page is it on?
Rogers Craft.
Right, so that is your business page or your personal page. Okay, so people will be able to find that. We look forward to seeing that collection. And thank you for your gift. Thank you very much. And enjoy your sweets.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. Enjoy.
That's all right. I'll see you. I'll remove you and then I'm going to get our lovely Sam in. Thank you, Jamie. Bye. Bye. There you go. I just changed to viewer and remove guest there. So if you do want that wonderful collection by Jamie, I will pick somebody at random. How cool is that? I can't believe Jamie Rogers is the Willy Wonka of craft. Who'd have thought it? Who'd have thought it? Right. I do believe our next guest there. So I won't waste any time. I'm going to tap on that. I'm going to approve. And we're going to get the lovely Sam in, who will appear at the bottom of the screen. My headphones, they ran out of battery. Oh, there she is. Hey, hello. Sam, we're live, Sam.
Yeah, thanks, Janice. I was going to say, I was going to do something and be off the camera and then come and go, oh, are we live? And I thought, oh no, she might not even remember. It was quite a while ago now.
Oh, that was fun.
The only time I've messed up live on air. Well, I'm sure I've messed up in other ways, but the main time I messed up.
You did not mess up. You did not mess
glad
up.
I did not say anything I shouldn't or swear. That's the only. I bet their fingers were like this on the button ready to cut
well, actually, we always had a delay. We always had like a couple of second delay. You're always doing live television, just in case.
I talk so fast all of the time. I probably would have got past their delay had I said it quick enough.
Just to explain to everyone at home, we were doing a show, Sam and I, and we were waiting to go live, and I think there was a countdown. Something was happening in the studio. It was busy. I think there was a kerfuffle with the microphone, or something happened. And we came live, and I don't think.
No, let's just get it right. It wasn't necessarily just a kerfuffle. It was a Janice winding Sam up and saying little bits and messing around, and Janice being Janice. And then I missed the countdown. I think you missed the countdown as well. And then before I knew it, we were live. And I didn't believe you that we were live. I thought you were still winding me up. That was the thing. And you're going, we're live. And I'm like, yeah. All right, Janice, stop winding me up. And then I can't remember who was on the camera that day. And they were like, I was looking at them, I was like, are we live? And they're like,
yeah, we're live.
Don't say anything. Yeah, sorry to interrupt there, Janice. I just didn't want you, scooting over the fact that it was you were the cause of us missing the countdown.
Do you know what? It's been one of my favourite memories.
Yeah. Oh God. Do you know what? You have to excuse the red cheeks. Hubby popped in, and I'm in the workshop, and I've got like a big metal. It's like a proper workshop fire thing in here.
Oh, nice.
Fancy. But the thing is, the heat kind of hits you sort of there. When I'm up moving around and working, there's like a nice ambient sort of heat in it. But once I've sat down at my desk, and which is where I've propped you up,
when it all happens,
it's just like hitting my face. So I might get redder and redder and redder as this conversation goes on.
You've been out feeding your animals, haven't you?
Feeding them, putting them away.
What have you got?
Wiping mud off them. No, I've not been wiping mud off them. Sorry?
What have you got? Animal-wise, not medically, animal-wise.
So the list is long either way, whether it's medically or for animals. Which way do we go? Animals, what have we got? We have got, where do we start? Ducks, geese, chickens, turkeys, rhea.
Can I ask you, can I stop you there? Are you going to have will you still have all your turkeys after Christmas? Please say you will.
Yeah, 100%. Everything that's here is a home for life. Most of them are rescues and rehomes. So the last thing we want to do is get them in and then kill them off. But
actually, let's just talk about that for a moment. They are all rescue animals, and you do a lot of fundraising, don't you?
No, we don't actually do a lot of fundraising. We did fundraising. No, we don't get any because we're not actually registered as a charity.
Right, okay.
I know you can still fundraise and whatever, even if you're not registered as a charity. But for me, I think if we're going down that route, it's nicer to be registered as a charity because it just gives other people that peace of mind.
Yeah.
So we don't get any grants. We don't get anything like that. So basically, when people are buying from us, they are helping with the animals. So we'll never be rich, no matter how well. If the business sort of soared tomorrow, we'd still never be rich because it all goes out there first.
But you're rich in
we fund,
kindness, Sam.
sorry,
You're rich in kindness.
well, or craziness, one or the other. I'm not quite sure which. No, we did do one lot of fundraising once, and that was when we were approached to take on 2 little ponies. Both were old. They were older. They both had breathing issues. They were basically kept in a back garden.
Oh.
And I mean a back garden, not a big back garden like a terraced house.
Yeah.
Back garden.
Wow, that's awful.
One of them had an issue with his eye, and when I went to see them, and it was the first time we'd sort of said, oh, I don't know if we can take them on, because we knew it was going to cost so much money the second we took them on. Because the one with his eye, I went and looked at him, and I knew that he was going to have his eye out straight away. And obviously that's for a horse or for a pony, that's an expensive operation. And that was the one time that we fundraised. We did a GoFundMe or Just Giving or something like that, just because, you know, and they weren't ours at that point. They weren't here at that point. But I remember coming home, and we sort of spent the week, and I was like, oh, we can't, because if we take them on and then we pay for that up, if we can't afford to then pay our mortgage, then nothing's got a home.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I was in tears. They'd already said that it'd been 2.5 years his eye had been like that. I mean, when they got here, our vet looked at him, and she felt it was longer than that. But you kind of, we were just in that position. If we left them, how long? Yeah. How much longer? So they were here a week, and within that week, obviously our vet had seen them. Then they went off to an equine hospital, and he had his eye out. So, if we've ever got kids here, that they love him, because we call him our pirate pony, because he's only got one eye. So for a while he had a patch over his eye.
Bless him.
But in answer to your question, so what do we have? We have so them 2 little ponies.
Yeah.
A bigger horse. So we've done the turkeys, chickens, geese, ducks, rhea, which if you don't know what they are, they're like they're like a slightly smaller version of an ostrich.
Oh, not like an emu then.
No, they're more like an ostrich. So they're from the ostrich family. So think ostrich and then a bit smaller.
Wow.
Pigs, sheep, goats, rabbit, dogs. I feel like I'm missing someone.
Your other half?
I don't know. Sorry?
Your other half?
Well, I don't even know if he classes it. No, he does. He's good. Child, husband. Yeah. Eldest child that visits.
So you've got a lot on. You've got a lot on. But of course, you've also got your business as well.
Yes.
Now, I know you were part of Create and Craft when all that went down. And it's difficult to cope with. It's never a good time when things like that happen, is it, Sam?
No, and I don't want to go on about too much, because I spoke to Adam the other night about it, and I don't want to bore people about it. But yeah, I mean, it's not easy. I mean, we've had to completely rethink the business. Obviously, they hit us for a lot of money when they went. Again, I already sort of said it on Adam's one, but I'd already terminated my contract with them, because the guy that was at the top, I really just did not like the way he was doing stuff. Okay. But I did the last show because I didn't want to let all the buyers and, you know, all of that team down, because it was literally 2 days before I terminated my contract. So I still went and done the show, and that's the one that I got knocked for. But yeah, it's hard. That money for us, we haven't got that leeway of thinking, right, well, we'll wait till things pick up. I'd let the business go a little bit stale, so really I'd become quite reliant on just that, and there wasn't really other avenues sort of coming in. So there were other avenues, but I hadn't been working on them properly, if that makes sense. And so all of a sudden we're left in this position where everything else is a bit slower than what you'd want it to be, and now you're money down from where you should be. Yeah. And you know, we don't have enough time in the day as it is here. But you know, we had, at the same time, we had a family loss. I had stuff going on with little one at school, you know, and it was a lot. It hit me really hard. It put me in a really bad place. I'm having quite a good day today, but it's still, you know, because it's hard to get over. You know, like we on site here, because we have to order a lot of feeding with all of the animals. So probably 3 years ago now, I want to say, we started basically a little business where we sell animal feed and that from here, because we're buying it in bulk for ourselves anyway.
Good
and
idea.
it helped us meet their minimum costs then. And because we've got such a variety of animals, we were fine, and we live in quite a rural location. We're finding we're going, 10 minutes one way to get one feed, 10 minutes the other, and then the ostrich feed we're having to order online, and it was all a bit. So we were like, we can't be the only ones that are doing this, so we'll offer it, and if people need something we haven't got, we'll get it in for them. And so that kind of, then any money from that helped towards stuff. And then off the back of that, it was like, well, if we've got the shop open, that's that, we'll extend it a bit, and we'll have a little bit of a farm shop. And what we did with the farm shop is not just your normal jams and this and that, but we said to the local community, have you, if there's any local makers, if there's any local whatever that want to put stuff in the shop, we didn't charge for shelf space or anything like that. It was our way of helping others out that were, needed to make ends meet and whatever else, and to offer. Sorry, the dog is now playing with his toy.
Oh.
One of the dogs is in here.
Oh.
So he's a rescue, actually. I don't know if you can hear him, but he's a rescue, and he never used to play with toys, and now he's got one toy that he'll play with, and every time that toy breaks, I have to replace it with exactly the same toy.
Really? Oh, bless
yeah, because
him.
otherwise he won't touch them, because he spent so many years not playing with toys.
Oh.
I think he's trying to get my attention.
Oh.
So we offered this space for people, and of course, off the back of that, because when we were spending time in the shop with customers and whatever else, but we weren't really making a return on anything, because that isn't what we did it for. We didn't do it for a profit. And the sad thing is where this has all happened now, that has had a knock-on effect with that, because we've had to say, do you know what? We had let this slide a little bit. We need to now really focus and knuckle down, because we need to try and recoup that money we've lost and set this in good stead that this can't happen again. I have gone to hobby maker, but I don't want to be reliant on it. I don't want to end up in the same scenario.
Yeah.
And so he's really off-putting, sorry. And so, our biggest problem is time.
Yeah.
With all the animals, with little with health stuff, with just everything is time. And we had to go, where can we get back from? Where can we? We had to make the decision. We were open 6 days a week, and we've made the decision. We've completely shut, and this is all off the back of Create and Craft doing what they did. We have had to shut the farm shop. We had to contact all them suppliers that we were given, and that was going for about 2 years. We had to say to them, look, we just can't afford to put that time into, it's not about the fact that we're not getting a return and whatever else, because we didn't do that for a return off it, but we haven't got the time to put it when we need to put time into this now. We need to concentrate time into this. And also then the animal side of it, we still are doing that, because obviously we still got to buy in the animal feed anyway. Sorry.
I thought it was horses coming through.
Stop it.
Is it Shadow? Oh,
Shadow, yeah.
I want to see. I want to see Shadow.
Oh, Shadow. If I move this, I blue tacked it down so it doesn't move. So if I can't move my phone, I'll
Okay.
I can't lift him up. He's only little, but I can't lift him up. Good boy. Good boy. Yeah. He loves the fire as well, don't you? I think he must have been kept somewhere cold all of the time. For the first 6 months, I'd say, that he was with us, we thought they'd snipped his vocal cords because it didn't make a sound. So the first time he barked was like, they haven't done that to him. He barks. Yeah. Got pretty much no teeth. They're all loose.
Oh, bless.
Oh, look, try and get up here. Try and get up. Can you get up?
Shadow. Shadow. Oh, he's beautiful.
I can't get him up properly because he'll try and get on my lap.
He's beautiful. He just wants lots of love.
I would move the phone, but it is literally blue tacked down.
That's okay.
It's all over.
That's okay.
Yeah, so off the back of that, we then had to say, do you know, we're still getting the animal feed in. We'll keep that side open, but we're going to have to reduce the hours down. So now we've gone from 6 days a week with a animal feed and farm shop to 2 days a week.
Okay.
Just the animal feed.
Yeah.
And regular customers, they know that they can let us know if they need to come on a different day. But the problem is we had to say we need the time back in here. I need to start doing regular lives.
Yeah.
I need to start doing, you know, stuff that pushes the business. But if our time is taken in there, we can't do that in here. So, you know, for us, lots has had to change.
Yeah.
You know, and all off the back of people. And then just this week, we found out that I don't know if you're aware of this, that pretty much all the suppliers aren't going to see a pet. You know, let's face facts. When something goes into administration, you normally get like a penny in the pound or something ridiculous. But we've pretty much found out this week from the administrator's report that we're not going to get anything at all whatsoever. So
That's just terrible.
And as much as you try and look past it and you try and just get on, every time something else comes out like that, you just think it's just like another little kick. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't expect to get anything back, but there's always that little bit of hope in the back of your head that maybe you'll get something, even if it's half of it, even if it's a quarter of it, it's something. And no, it's not gonna. So so we've basically our other little businesses that we're helping just keep money trickling in, we've had to say, okay, that's it. And it's scary to all of a sudden go, okay, well, there's money coming in there, but actually we need to focus the time here. So we're going to have to lessen that, because potentially we're stopping that money flow coming in. But we know this is the business that predominantly, because it's not just based here. Do you know what I mean? Because it's internet based and it's worldwide based and it's whatever else. So this is the business we need to focus on. And next year will be 10 years.
Wow.
You know, when I don't want to get upset.
But you're
But when you get into your 10 years, the last thing you want to do is, through no fault of your own, sorry.
It's okay, take time. Take your time,
Through
Sam.
no fault of your own, do you want to then lose that business? Do you know what I mean? If it was the right decision to shut this and keep the others going, we would have done that. But yeah, so you know, everything about what we do here, not just in this business, has had to change to be able to sort of keep us going. And now it's just trying to get them things in place so that we can
build
keep
it
going.
back up.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I hate to see you so upset, and it's horrible to see. And I know you've been going through a really hard time. You know, there's your mind can do lots of things when you're in a situation like that. But you're such a wonderful person. All you do for those animals, and what you've been telling me, it's just mind blowing how you do that. It's incredible. The fact that, you know, you rescue all those animals, you give them a home, you find them feed, you find ways to feed them. You've got your family,
I mean, it's like
the relationships within your family as well, and that's got to be admired. And it's horrible what's happened with the money, and it's disgusting, and it's just so upsetting to see you like that. But I just think I think with this reset that you're going through now, it can only come back even better.
I'm hoping. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like I said, where we've become reliant on creating craft, I'd become stale with the business. I think I'd fallen out of love with it, with a lot of stuff that had gone on over the years and whatever else. You know, I'd just fallen out of love with the business a little bit. You know, because when I got into this, I got into it for the love of craft like everyone else. You know, I got into it because my head wasn't in a good place at the time, and it was my respite. It was my escape from it. And then when you start working it all the time, you no longer, it's no longer respite anymore. You know, like my crafting literally went to prepping some demos ready for creating craft, and half the time I'd be doing that when I arrived at the studios because I didn't have the time to do it before then. And that was my only crafting time. But that's not crafting in the same aspect of just letting loose and crafting, you know, and enjoying the process of crafting. You're very mindful of what you're doing, or you're showing someone something or whatever else. So part of what I want to do is get back into doing the lives and YouTube videos and that just are showing people, not for any reason, not to sell them anything, but just the joy of crafting again, and for my benefit as well, not just for everyone else's benefit, but for my benefit as well, because that'll give me a little bit of putting my head in the right frame of mind. And I just want to fall back in love with the business. So and fall back, and again, from a creative perspective, when you are not creating yourself, when you're not crafting regularly and stuff anymore, you kind of lose. Half of my ideas were coming from the fact that I would be creating something and I think, oh, actually I need blah blah for there, or oh, if only I had something that was, you know, and that's where a lot of my designs or whatever would come from, would be sparked by that. And all of a sudden, when you're not doing that creative side as such, and I know it's still creative to do the designs, but you know, you're not creating.
I get it.
All of a sudden you start to lose some of that, and it becomes a struggle. Then it becomes a struggle to get the designs out. It becomes a struggle to think of something new. It becomes, so, you know, there's multiple reasons why I want to get back into actually crafting again and enjoying it.
I think what's happened as well, I think what's happened with you, what's happened with all of us that's been made redundant, and everybody that lost through Crane Craft, it's a grieving process, Sam, and there are all different stages that you go through. You know, there's the anger that it happened, the anger, who can we get angry at, and that's you have to go through the stages. The anger one is not a great one to have, because it's not great to have that anger within you, but you go through those stages. It seems to me that you're coming through that now. You're coming through those different stages, and we've all had to go through them in
I'm
some
only doing
way.
this to try and cool my cheeks down a bit. My hands are freezing, my cheeks are burning.
Okay.
Sorry.
And I think you're coming through that process now, and I think you've realised what needs to be done. And to get back into your crafting, I think everything is just going to start flowing again, because you can concentrate on that, knowing that we have to now close the door on Create and Craft. When it ended, I thought to myself, it's going to come back. It's got to come back. It's been there for 23 years, but not just Create and Craft. You know, let's go back to Hochanda. Let's go back to the craft store.
Yeah, that's
it's that's gone. Yeah, that's gone as well.
That's what I started with them. I didn't actually start with the original Create and Craft. I started with the craft store and Hochanda. Yeah,
and that's gone. You know, it's Create and Craft was the name. It was what we turned into. But Hochanda, you know, how beautiful was that? The craft store, how fantastic was that? Create and Craft, the legacy that had, and that's all gone. And it's really hard to accept that it's not coming back. It's really hard for you financially.
It must be hard, you know, from a supplier, we've been hit financially, but other than that, you know, we'll get by. But for those, you know, and for the likes of yourself or any of the other staff there or whatever else that have all of a sudden lost jobs, but you know, I feel for those that were sitting the other side of the screens watching, because, you know, I know when I've been in my darkest places, which was a long time ago. Don't get me wrong, I've had some dark days recently, but not, you know, I've been in really dark places before. And sometimes your TV, what's on your computer, they are your only link to outside and stuff like that. Or, you know, or it might be that you can't get out of the house. You know, it might be that you've got a disability or something that makes it awkward for you to get out and about. So, and I know people give. I've got one friend and I love her dearly, but she gives it stick. Well, how can they think that people are their friends because they have a screen? But it's not necessarily they think they're their friends. It's the comfort, and I get it because I've been there. You know, it's that comfort of the same voices and the same characters, and just having that in the background. I mean, like when I'm working out here, like hubby comes in here now quite a bit, because again, that's what we're trying to do, is get him up and running stuff so he can perhaps run the machines and do stuff like that, so I can focus more on the designs and do the lives and things like that. You know, he's very, very much, while he's working, he will have music on. But I'm very much, while I'm working, I like to have the TV on, either the TV or YouTube with a podcast or whatever, you know, and voices and talking, and I think that was the same for a lot of people that were watching it. They've now lost that. So it's you know, they'll be going through that grieving sort of process as well, because this is something that they've had for all of them years.
I know. Yeah, I thought to myself, you know, I thought, if only you could get someone like the government involved, because it was more than just a bit that, yes, there was the business side, but it was more than that. It was the community that made Hochanda, the craft store, Create and Craft. It was a community. And when we'd go out to do the shows and we'd meet all those lovely people, or I'd get home of an evening and I'd have messages that people had seen the shows, how good it had made them feel, that they'd, you know, not about watching me, about how they'd watched that particular show or that particular guest presenter like yourself. And it's really difficult, and I stay in touch with as many people, and that's why I'm doing these as well. You know, yes, it's a bit of therapy for me,
really great for people,
but it's great it's great just to bring us together and hear genuinely how we feel, which maybe before, when we're all working at the company, you couldn't really say, because you had to, you know, you had to get on with your job. But
Yeah.
now we can all come together, we can be honest,
Yeah.
and we can talk about it. There's no repercussions, there's nothing we can't say, because that's gone now. So it's horrible what's
I
happened
mean,
to you, Sam.
how are you finding it, Janice? Because as much as it, you know, from a supplier's perspective, I've lost money out of this, but you've lost, you know, you've lost your job, you've lost your comfort blanket, you're
Yeah.
knowing what you're doing every day, and that, you know, how has that left you? Like, what are you doing now? I know you've been to Highlights Craft.
Yeah.
So is that going to be a regular thing? Or are you still,
Yeah,
which again, it's not a great position to be in, is that, you know, unsure of what's happening
yeah,
next?
it is. It's a very, very difficult time, especially coming up to Christmas as well. I'm the kind of person that puts I put like milestones. So even if it's like, right, tomorrow I'm going to go out and buy myself a new notebook. And for me, that's like, right, things will start to happen, because I'll start to write things in the notebook and I'll start to put things into action. Or it'll be, I'm going to get my hair cut next week. After that, things are going to start to get better. And I keep putting these little milestones down, but nothing seems to be getting that much better at the minute. But it is. I've been working with Highlight Crafts, which is absolutely fantastic. I've been doing loads of these, which is just a joy to my heart, and just it's fabulous. Because also, when I finished work, we were made redundant. I came back to Leicestershire. And you look that way, and you look that way, and I've got all my friends and family, which is great. But I don't have my work colleagues, because they were over in Peterborough or
And they're like
Andrew,
a
or
second
I'd see you
family.
on a regular basis. And then all of a sudden that was just like,
And
that's it.
don't forget what a lot of people forget, you know, maybe because they don't work proper jobs anymore or whatever, you know, this isn't a proper job for me. It is a proper job for me, but do you know what I mean? Proper as in an office with the same employees, with the same, what people forget is that becomes like a second family. Even if you don't like most of them, it is still a second family, because that becomes your normality, and you're spending just as much time with them people as you are with your friends
Yeah,
and family at home. And all of a sudden that's gone. You're not,
yeah.
like you say, you're not in there anymore.
I
I mean, I
don't
said,
have, I don't have those relationships with, you know, I'm not going to see, you know, my friends in the corridor when I walk down, and have that giggle and have that laugh, and have those little things that we talk about, and little things that we do that make us laugh. And then all of a sudden it just literally stopped. Of course, we still message one another, but that just walking into the building and saying hi to Dougie, and then, you know, getting that lovely response that I'd always get from him. Morning, Dougie. How are you? Living the dream. And it just became part of your routine. And then you went through, you said hello to everybody, the tech guys as you walk through, hello to the guests in there, get yourself a coffee, have a chat, and it's just
God,
gone.
I must admit, see, the last time I went in was, like I say, I'd already terminated my contract a couple of days prior.
Yeah.
So even though none of us knew this was happening, I mean, as a supplier, I already knew I was struggling to get my payments, and had been for a few months, but none of us knew this was going to happen. So on my last time in, although I didn't know that the company was going to go under, I did know that was my last time in, because obviously I terminated my contract.
Yeah.
So
You could prepare for it.
well, it's not that I could prepare for it, but I get what you're saying about it. Just stopped, because I walked in there and I come out and I said to my husband, it felt really sad. I said, because for the past 6 years, I have been there either every month or every other month. And I know some guests are in, you know, every week and whatever else, but still, it's part of your routine.
Yeah.
It might only be every month or every other month, but that is part of your routine. You know, prepping to get there is part of your routine. And all of a sudden, that prep to get there's gone, that going there's gone. And like you say, seeing the same faces, seeing the same, you know, it felt so comfortable in there, because you've been going there for so long, and it felt weird. And so, but I had at least almost come to terms with that being gone from there before the company went under, because of the fact that I knew I wasn't going to be going back there anyway. But yeah, so for me as a supplier, the only thing that really hits hard is and I guess, you know, I'll be honest with you, Janice, it's not so much, right, the money has hit us hard and has really affected us badly. Like, we've had to rejig everything about everything.
Yeah.
But I think the bit that gets me the most is it didn't have to happen. The powers that be that created that to happen, I believe that was their intention when they stepped in, and that's what gets me the most. Is not the losing the money, is not that, because if you've gone under, if a company had genuinely gone under because it was struggling, it was this, it was that, it was whatever else, you know, I'd be gutted about the money and whatever else, but it is what it is. But when it feels like that money's been stolen from you now, in a sense, so that anger side is not going to dissipate in the same way. And I'm not angry about the fact that the money isn't there. I'm angry about the fact that someone's been allowed to do this, and the likelihood is they're going to go on and do this in another business and another business. Do you know what I mean? And then I worry for all the members of staff or suppliers that be at them other businesses as well. And it's just, I think that's what makes me angry. And I just think, I wish I had the time or money to take this further. That's all I can say. I wish I had the time or money to take this further, because people shouldn't be allowed to do this to other people. And they've not just, sorry, I'm like this, it's because I'm pulling my chair forward.
It's fine. I'm not asking. It's fine.
You know, and I don't think they realise the impact of doing it to a company like this. It's like I say, not just the suppliers and that, but everyone that watched, everyone that was there. They didn't even have to necessarily be a customer. They might have just had it on, you know, just for the company. But the fact is, they've taken that from everyone, and that's, yeah, that is the bit that gets me the most. Is I don't honestly think it had to happen.
Do you know what? We've had lots of comments come through. Claire says, bless your heart, Sam. You're an amazing lady. Lots of loves and hugs. Stay strong, Sam, says Katie. She's messaging. Sharon says, I truly hope and pray it works out for you, Sam. I hope it gets better for you all, affected by what's happened, says Sharon. Hello, Sam. Hello, Janice, says Jojo. It's the company and the comfort, like you say, that comes from Margaret. She agrees. You're right. The shows are a link to the outside world for many of us who don't see a soul for days.
Yeah, it's exactly that. I mean, yeah, I know. What else is there like? I mean, all right, there's Hobby Maker, but I don't know how easy that is for people to get on the channel. And people loved creating craft for creating craft. And I know some have moved over to Hobby Maker, but again, it's different for everyone. They've got a different format. They're done in a different way.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, laid back isn't the word there. I mean, it was, they're almost horizontal there. They were so laid back. It felt weird as a supplier. Like, you sure you don't want this? You sure you don't want that yet? You know, they're so, and I was made to feel welcome straight away. And there are some faces over there I know. Like, for example, my first shows were Hayley and Dave. So I knew them. But it hasn't got everyone there that was on Create and Craft, and it hasn't got all the same suppliers, and it is a different format. And I hope people do go and give them a go, and the same as like Highlights Crafts, so go over there and have a look, and more importantly, go to businesses' own pages, because I think a lot of businesses are now doing their own lives and their own sort of stuff. But when again, it's like you were saying, when you're used to going in somewhere and you're used to, so it's the same for those that had it on the TV. When they're used to it being in a certain way with certain people, with certain, and that's gone, there are other things that are slowly coming up for them, but it's not the same. You know, they could come to mine once I start doing the lives, which hopefully is going to start next week. Next week, no, after, no, next week.
Next week, Sam.
Well,
lots of people are wanting them to start sooner.
I've decided I'm going to do a Tuesday chat. So
Yeah.
It'll be 20 minutes to half an hour of me just having a chat if people want to ask questions, that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Because you know, talking to Adam the other day and now talking to you, I realised that for me as well, being in this workshop, this is quite isolating. You know, I don't see a lot, or I don't see anyone because I'm here, so it's quite isolating. So chatting like this is actually, it's nice. It's in a social way for me, and you know, in a sort of therapeutic way, because I've been able to sort of vent or say stuff or whatever else. You know, so I'm thinking I'm going to do a Tuesday chat, and then I'm going to find one other day of the week where I'll do a regular, you know, either demo or a tutorial or something like that.
I think the sooner you get onto that, Sam, the better for you, but also the better for us, because we can see those great MDF shapes and projects again.
But I'm still of the, you know, I still understand that for people, they can come to my page, they can sort of see me on there, they can go to, I don't know, All and Create, for example, see their lives on there, they can go to wherever, but it's still, you know, they're having to flip between here and there, and I think people like to just have that one channel on and just know that there was going to be a variety on. So I get it for people it's still going to be difficult. I get it that although there's stuff springing up, it's still hard for them, but hopefully everyone will sort of get there. But more importantly, if anyone is feeling isolated or alone or any of that they reach out to other people, whether it be on here, whether it be to people they know in their personally in their lives. Just reach out. Don't, because it can all of a sudden get heavy if you feel you've got nothing there that you, and I know it sounds, you can almost think, well, it's daft, it was a TV channel, but when that is your company, when that is your escape, when that is your noise in the background,
yeah, it's important. It's not daft at all, because people have got craft supplies in their home, they want inspiration, they craft it along. So it's not daft at all. It's a true, genuine feeling from people that watched Create and Craft and people that work there as well. It's absolute, and we're all running in all different directions trying to make it work. And I wanted to do this to bring everyone together, because I think it's important.
I think it's great. I think it's really great doing the lives, and just like you say, and I think people still are careful with what they say for things, because they've got a business to represent at the end of the day. Unfortunately, I haven't got as good a filter as everyone else, so sometimes I say stuff that maybe I shouldn't, but which is why I'm surprised in so many years of going live that I didn't say anything that I shouldn't have. But I think what you're doing is absolutely great. I think it's just it's just giving people a chance to chat, even if people are going off doing their things, but it's a chance for people also to tell other people what they're off doing.
Absolutely. Claire says that she writes down all the lives in a diary, so she keeps a track of everyone doing diaries and things like that. So Sam, what kind of collections are you working on at the moment, and where can we get them, and how can we see them?
Well, I'm next on Hobby Maker on the 19th.
Yeah.
So it might be that a lot of people are at Christmassy things or whatever, but anyway, I'm next on in 19th, and then next on after that 1st of February. But the idea when we start doing the lives is that we will do some releases ourselves rather than on the TV.
Yeah.
What am I working on at the moment? And that's a good question, and the answer is I don't know at the moment, because I've literally been snowed under from the last shows, which is great. Don't get me wrong, it's absolutely fabulous. I'm just having a look now. I've got some ideas in my head. It'll be over, I don't even know what day we are. Wednesday,
yeah.
Honestly, when you were saying earlier about you set these little targets, I'm going to get a notebook there, and I was thinking to myself at the same time, geez, like I think to myself, I'm going to do blah, blah. What? How is it Friday? I thought it was still Monday. Like there's no way I could plan ahead. It's like,
it is. It's funny, these weeks are flying by, but it's like all in the run up to Christmas. But there might be somebody watching tonight that hasn't seen your crafts. You do MDF.
Can I just say, it's the 4th of December. Like, how on earth? I thought we were still at the start of November.
I really thought you were going to swear that. I really wondered what you were going to say when you went, and I thought, reach for the off button. Did you know, Janice, it's the... And I was like, oh no, Sam, don't.
The 4th. I can't believe it is the 4th.
Yeah, 4th of December already. 21 days till Christmas.
Oh, don't. Every night my little one gets in from school, it's like, we've only got so days till Christmas. I'm like, Neil, I've got a lot to do. So MDF, chipboard, we've been doing rice papers for a while now.
Your rice papers are just fantastic.
Massively popular.
What was the last collection we did? We had some like time travelers, didn't we? Or I
can't remember what show.
Steampunk and stuff. Yeah, they're fabulous.
Steampunk when I was on with you. I mean, there's always generally some steampunk in there, because that's. But yeah, the rice papers have done amazingly well. We've started introducing some ephemera, like the little card sort of shapes and whatever. But yeah, I mean, in answer to your question, seriously, that's how much behind time I am all the time. I've got a show on the 19th, and I've not even done it all yet and got it out to the design team. So my design team have been amazing, because that's the other thing. I took on them knowing that I wanted to, rejig the business and rejudge it and whatever else.
Yeah.
I got together another design team. It'd been about 4 years since I'd had a design team. and I got together another design team thinking, right, okay, I'm going to do this and that. And then obviously all of that went and everything kind of imploded. And all my time was on fighting fires more than anything. And the design team had kind of been left ambling along, bless them. Oh, excuse me, that wasn't very nice. Sorry. But they've done amazing. They've done absolutely amazing, which has been great. But it's like this. Hopefully over the end of this week, by the end of this week, I'll have my new designs and that done, and then they'll go out to the design team then. So in answer to your question, is genuinely, I'm not 100% sure yet. They're just all pie in the sky up here at the moment.
Okay. But how can we purchase any of your stuff? What's your website?
Website, it's samanthak.co.uk. If they go to the Facebook page, which I think you tagged on the live,
I did.
You'll find all the details of the website and that on there. When we start doing the lives, the chat on the Tuesday will be just a chat.
Yeah.
When I do the demos and that, it will generally be just demos, but potentially we will sell through there. So we're using the Spree, or we invested in the Spree software that Highlight Crafts use.
Yep.
So we invested in that at the start of last month. So once we implement that, that means also if people are watching the live, they'll be able to do the same as what they can on there. They'll just be able to comment and they'll be able to buy stuff, which I think is fantastic. You know, the fact that people don't have to leave the live and can, you know, but can put it in, because sometimes by the time you've left the live, otherwise you think, what was that thing called at the start that I wanted, or what was, you know, and then you have to search for a website, whereas you comment, it adds it in a basket for you, and at the end when you finish watching, it's there. I mean, it's you know, that doesn't mean you have to buy. If you've changed your mind, then you can take something out, but the fact is it's there then, it's then there for you. So we definitely want to get that implemented. So yeah, the best place is a website. Obviously we are going to Hobby Maker, and any support we get on that is fantastic, because obviously it means that they'll have us back. But obviously the same as Create and Craft, they take a big percentage, and so for us it is always better if people can buy on the website. I am on Etsy as well. Not all of the products are always on Etsy. There's more on the website than there is on Etsy, and also obviously we get higher fees on there, so sometimes the prices, you know, might be £1 dearer on there to help cover some of the fees that we get on there. So and the other thing is with people, if they're buying on the website, which a lot of people don't realise, we do points on the website. Okay. So every purchase you get points.
So what points make?
They don't make prizes, they actually make money off your order.
Excellent.
So it's a bit, it literally converts to money off your order. So you can build up your points, and at any point you can be using your points. So whether you get, you know, you want to take £1 off or save it and get £10 off, or whatever, however you want to do it. But every purchase you get points on, and they all equate to money off. Like I said, I thought it was better to get money off rather than giving someone something that they might not necessarily want. So
you've had another comment from Sheila. She says, Sam, you're a lovely person. Thank you for looking after the animals, and lots of luck for the future. And lots of thumbs up keep coming up on the live. Sam, it's been an absolute pleasure. We must do this again. I'm sorry you got upset, but I really do genuinely believe, with the strength and courage that you have, the determination that you have. You say, you know, oh, I don't have a filter, I might say the wrong thing, I shouldn't be saying this. Don't change. That's you. That's your determination.
Don't tell my husband that. He's been trying to change me for the past 20 odd
years. That's your determination. Put all of that energy now into your business. Get it back up and running. Your rice papers are fantastic. All of your MDF is just marvelous. All of the designs that you did, they were just, there was precision, they were different, and they were great to craft with. And just keep that in mind. And if anybody wants any feed for their animals, can they? Where's your shop? Can they come and see you?
Oh, it's in Stickney in Lincolnshire, but unless you're based local, there's no point coming to buy a bag of chicken feed, is there? 20-kilo bag of chicken feed. If someone wants to take a journey and buy a 20-kilo bag of animal feed, they're more than welcome to. But we're only open 2 days a week now, no more than 6 days. But yeah.
Well, you are the Mrs. Doolittle of crafts, you know that. Jamie Rogers is the Willy Wonka of craft because of his sweet. because of its sweets. And it's been quite a magical evening. I'm going to let you go, Sam, because I know you've got lots to do and you're probably getting fried by that fire.
Yeah,
But
I am. My face is burning. But the thing is, my hands are freezing cold.
oh,
Because
bless
this
you.
hand's warmer. This hand's colder because the fire's that side. Right.
Go and have a cuddle with all your dogs. Go and have a cuddle with your family as well. And we're sending you lots of love. And anytime, you know where I am, Sam.
Yeah, definitely.
Just
We'll do this again.
yeah,
But take
just
care, Janice. And I
yeah,
really hope for you as well
yeah,
that, things keep picking up and that you keep sort of getting more coming your way as well. Because I know
yeah,
it's not been, I appreciate you're doing this for everyone. And I'm sure for you, a bit like me chatting, it's a bit of therapy. But,
yeah,
I know for you, it's got to be tough as well. It's a big,
yeah.
it's a big change,
It
uncertain
is.
times. It's not
Yeah.
easy. So
But
good
together
luck for
we'll
you as
get through
well.
it.
And
We'll get
yeah.
through it together. That's what it's
I keep
about. Keep
wobbling that.
supporting
It's because
each
my
other.
thing's balanced on the desk and everything. Look, it's like there's an earthquake. Oh no, look, get under the desk. Sorry. Right, I'm gonna go.
There's an earthquake. Oh, Sam. Oh. Sam,
Right.
I love
See you
you,
later,
and
Janice.
I'll see you
See you
soon.
later. Bye.
Bye. Right, there you go. That is the wonderful Sam. Let me just do that. Yeah, okay. Wow, yeah, and open and honest. Sam's always open and honest. Do please support Samantha K Crafts by going to her website. If you've not seen her MDF and the shapes and the projects that she brings out, and the rice papers, it's just amazing. It really, really is. And can I say a huge thank you to Jamie Rogers as well. Don't forget to support him tomorrow night on his live, where he will be introducing you to a brand new collection. And we have got that lovely giveaway, which I will choose a winner tomorrow, and I'll get in touch with you. It's been an absolute blast. Thank you so much. Again, it's an hour and a half, but it's just really good to sit down and talk. And when we've got people on that want to talk, I'm not here to tell them to shut up. You can go away, let the dog out, go and get something to eat, come back. This is going to be available for you again on Facebook, also on my YouTube channel as well. Can I say, if you can subscribe to my start again. If you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, I've changed the name now, Janice Phillips TV. I need to get the subscriptions up, and then I can broadcast live on YouTube. And then it'd be better, and I can perhaps use a different format, maybe make it better for people to view. I just like doing it organically on the phone at the moment, because it's how Facebook started, isn't it? So that's why I'm doing it like this, and it's just easy for my guests as well. But if you can follow me on YouTube, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't cost a penny. So you can go and subscribe on YouTube. I think I've got about 259 at this current time. So hopefully tomorrow, when I go and have a look, some of you have subscribed. Again, it's free to do so. It doesn't cost anything, but it does mean I'll be able to do some lives on Facebook. So I think I need 1,000 followers. So if you can help me out, that'll be absolutely fantastic. Or give me a follow on this page. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Claire. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Karen, Kate, Jane. Thank you, Evangeline. Thank you. What a beautiful name. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And the next Facebook Live with friends. Oh, by the way, I did say that Barbara Donovan was coming on tonight from Joseph Bear, but something happened. No, not bad, just had to get ready for a show, so we've postponed that, and we'll try and get Barbara on maybe on Sunday. But watch my Facebook. I'll let you know who's coming up next and give me some suggestions about who you want to see. So I bid you good night. Thanks very much, everyone.